Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. In the divine presence of Sri Sri Yadugiri Yathiraja Jiya Swami, I feel immense gratitude for him to have given me the opportunity to talk about the Bhagavad Gita and how it can be relatable in today's world and how its lessons can be implemented in our day-to-day life. In the previous episode, we saw that Arjuna has a moral dilemma on what to do and what not to do. Should he fight or should he not fight? This moral dilemma shall be answered in today's episode. Well, we saw that Arjuna's moral dilemma can be interpreted when we ourselves feel overwhelmed, we ourselves feel immense grief or sadness. We can take the example of Arjuna because as a whole it is the same emotions he felt, it is what we are also feeling sometimes as well. What do we do in such situations? Well, let us take the example of Arjuna. Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. In the shloka he says, Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavaha prichhamitvam dharma sammuda chetaha yat shreyasyan nishchitam bruhitanme shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. He says, O Krishna, please take me as your disciple. Teach me as to what is dharma. Teach me as to what I should do right now. It is the same thing we should also do. When we also feel such overwhelming of emotions, such grief, let us surrender it unto Krishna and believe that he will show us a way. Now, let us answer a prominent question which might occur to you in several times. Why is the Bhagavad Gita so long? Is 700 shlokas really necessary to answer a simple question on whether to fight or whether not to fight? Is it really a solution to Arjuna's question? Well, Arjuna surrenders to Krishna as a disciple, and it is a teacher's duty to not give what the student needs. It is a teacher's duty to give the student what he wants and what is required. Arjuna's question only asks about whether he should fight or whether he should not fight. But Arjuna is a warrior. His decision seems firm in the first chapter. He says that he shall not fight. It would take a lot of convincing to convince such a warrior to fight. And all his questions tie up to very deep questions. So all these questions need to be answered, and that is exactly what Krishna did. Let us take a scenario which we might have all faced, which I myself have faced as well. Academic pressure and distractions. We might have a situation where our mock test scores would have been very low and we have an upcoming exam lingering on top of our heads. In this case, what we should do? Well, in social media today, we see that lot of people give various study techniques. What if I tell you that Lord Krishna himself has given a study principle? I call this the tortoise principle. The shloka talks about this in the second chapter. Yada samharate chayam kurmonganiva sarvashah indriyan indriyartebhyah tasya prajna pratishtita. What does this shloka mean? Well, Krishna says, just as how a tortoise withdraws its limbs at time of danger, we should also withdraw our sense and say that no, we should not get distracted. We should have control over our senses. This is what the shloka broadly talks about. Well, we have another aspect of this shloka as well. Once we have withdrawn from distractions, what we should do? We should focus on the task at hand, that is studying. How should we do this? This Bhagavad Gita answers this question as well. This shloka says, Sukha dukke same kritva labha labhau jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. What does this shloka mean and how can we relate to it? Well, we saw that in this situation our mock test scores are very low and we have this fear on how we will perform in the next exam. What should we do in this case? Well, Krishna says that Sukha dukke same kritva labha labhau jaya jayo. Treat victory and defeat, sadness and happiness alike. Be equipoised in your emotions. Do not worry about the fruit of the actions and just focus on the task at hand. In this way, we should withdraw ourselves from distractions using the tortoise principle. Wait, why tortoise? Why hasn't Krishna used any other animal as an example? Let us see. Well, we see that whenever a tortoise is faced with danger, it withdraws its limbs. What does this say? Well, the tortoise knows that there is a danger. So, the withdrawal is conscious. Whereas, we also have to take this very same example. Whenever we know that this is a distraction, we should also think, okay, this is a distraction. We must withdraw from it just like how a tortoise withdraws itself. So, the movement of the tortoise is deliberate. Similarly, we also have to realize that this is a distraction. The realization is very important. After we realize that this is a distraction, we must withdraw just like how a tortoise withdraws its limbs. This is why Krishna has carefully chosen the example of a tortoise. Once we have withdrawn from the distraction, we must focus at the task at hand. How should we do that? We should not worry about what has happened before. We should only focus on what we have at now. There is another shloka which is very popular. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhu ma te sangotstava akarmani. In this shloka, Krishna says that you have the right only to perform the action. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You do not have any right to worry about the fruit of the action. Ma karma phalaheturbhu ma te sangotstava akarmani. Leave the fruit of action unto me. I shall take care of it. But this does not mean that we should do inaction. Ma karma phala heturbhu ma te sangotstava akarmani. Akarmani means inaction. Krishna also says that we must not do inaction just because we do not know how to do action. So, using these principles, let us try and focus ourselves into the task at hand. Krishna has given us such simple techniques to practice. Let us try to implement it in our lives and understand that yes, even today the Gita is relevant. Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha, Krishnam Vande Jagadguru.
Yathiraja, 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 Jaya Ho. Yathiraja, Yathiraja.